Welcome into Extreme Talk presented by GracePointe Healthcare. $20 off your new patient office visit if you request your appointment at GracePointeHealthcare.com. Modern medicine the old-fashioned way. And we are fueled by Fairlife Core Power Protein, financially supported in part by First Horizon, sponsored by Crumble Cookies and Iceberg, plumbing, heating, and cooling. Welcome to everyone watching or listening around the world. Spencer Thompson alongside James Shannon, Brendan Daniel at the table again. Another week of 8-man football concluded around the area, and proud to be fueled by Fairlife Core Power Protein today, as you see all the different shakes and everything. Yeah, let's go ahead. Yeah, you guys are muted because
on purpose. I'm still muted.
Yeah, on purpose.
Okay, here's what I propose.
Uh-oh. You
it?
already proposed. You've been
Chugging
married
it.
for several years.
Gosh.
I'm not.
Brennan, you down?
I'm not.
Let's go, son.
Let's
I
go.
to
Let's go.
college.
I'm not. I'm not.
Hang on. Mic's off.
I'll let you guys go for that. I prefer to enjoy my fair life.
Okay, countdown.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Chug, 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 chug. By the way, that's the lactose edition. James obviously had some. James obviously.
Everyone I've ever
gone through that
challenged to
before.
chugging a water bottle. By the way, it is completely empty.
Now,
Mine's empty.
So-
I would like to point
Hey,
out.
that was delicious, actually. That was
Banana.
really good.
Oh yeah.
Strawberry banana.
Banana.
I
Oh,
need
you
to
went
try the
straight
strawberry
banana.
banana. Still.
I thought someone took the chocolate. I would have done the chocolate.
Yeah, Audrey
Oh,
took
Audrey
the chocolate.
called
Oh yeah, she did.
As soon as I walked in, she was
the
like,
chocolate. In my opinion, chocolate's the best one. I haven't tried the other 3 flavors that we've been giving out throughout the season, but between chocolate and vanilla, I prefer the chocolate. But they're both pretty good. But welcome. So Fairlife getting its camera time. We'll get Crumble Cookies on the show at some point. We haven't gotten them yet. I need to talk to our sponsor about that. But yeah, we got to get our Crumble Cookies on, and hopefully the players have gotten their samples of Crumble Cookies. The players of the week. I'm hoping they've gotten theirs in the last several weeks, because I know the gift cards have been distributed and everything. So let's hope that they're getting them. Well, we are back for another episode of Extreme Talk, and what a week around the action of 8-man football as we recap Week 3. We start out with the Southern Prep Academy Fighting Rangers, a 40-16 win over the Springwood Wildcats. And James, it's one of those situations where, especially at Southern Prep, is their first home game of the year. Had a good matchup ahead, and just what a great contest for Southern Prep to get the victory over the Springwood Wildcats.
Yeah, a little primetime action for them on Thursday night, but no, solid showing against Springwood, and you love to see that, especially your first home game of the year, getting to pick up a win on it. It's one thing to kick off the year on the road, take a loss like they did, and then be able to come home in your home opener and win like that. That really sets a tone for the rest of the season, I think. So that's a big deal. So congrats to them. Obviously, just totally balled out.
Yeah, I realize none of us should be having dairy when we're about to talk for about an hour and a half, because that usually strains the vocal cords. Well, we
My
both got
hat is
water
like
too.
all
It's just
We had triple dairy.
yeah, that's true.
I don't think we're synced. By
no.
the way.
Last 3 days I've had last 3 days I've had about what is it? The throat coat honey tea, like Friday morning, Saturday morning, and then this morning, just to try and get my vocal cords back. I was getting a little bit too excited the last few days, but
So I'm noticing 2 things.
Oh boy!
First off, we're not really synced.
Mm-hmm.
It's still off.
Is it forward or backward? That's the question. As he's figuring out the audio issues on that. But 40-16, congratulations to the Southern Prep Academy Fighting Rangers as they get a home win. What you do is when you hear the audio. All right, that's a producer question on that. Seems like every week we have a producer for this. Every week.
The audio's faster than the video.
Audio
Slow
faster
it down,
than the video.
Spence.
Yeah, very simple way to do that. We'll try 750 ms.
Let's work on James's camera.
yeah.
What's wrong with my camera?
There's a lot of things.
Other than the fact that I look like death warmed over.
It might be saying something about that. But again, congratulations to the Southern Prep Academy Fighting Rangers on their first victory of the year. They travel going into their first weekend of September. They travel to Westwood on the road. So of course, Springwood Wildcats. We don't cover them. Sure, they have some other game going forward, but the return of Sean Bell to Lancaster. Saw a good Facebook post from him where he felt like he felt like family when he was still surrounded by the Lancaster Christian Academy fan base and the coaching staff and everything. But at the end of the day, he tried to go in and get the win. Couldn't come out with it. His original head coach retains the W. Lancaster Christian 46 and Lighthouse Christian School 20.
It really could have gone one of two. It could have gone one of two ways. He either could have come back and it could have been the vibe of, no, you know what, you walked away, so on and so forth. We're just going to beat you and send you home because you decided to leave the team. And it didn't go that way. And I absolutely love that. I love that Lancaster has the class, and they always have, but that Lancaster has the class to go, you know what, we're going to recognize that you've been here for a long time and you took another opportunity, even if it's at a rival school or a school up the road. At least it wasn't a divisional game. But can I get a little more volume in my headphones?
Just a smidge, yeah.
Just a smidge. Okay. They had the class to say, hey, you know what, you've been here for a while. Let's welcome you back, and the players were very welcoming and excited. So, you love to see that, and obviously it was a great game. At least for Lancaster, Lighthouse did struggle a little bit. Definite prayers for Lighthouse. Former player of the week, Crumble Cookie, Extreme Player of the Week, Tyler Satterwhite, got hurt. The potential thought is that he's out for the year. He's had a broken ankle, something like that. So, definite prayers for him and for Lighthouse. I mean, they had a baller on in Satterwhite, and to lose someone like him, that's massive.
Absolutely. And just to make sure I didn't misquote Coach Bell, Bell here posted it. He said after the game, all the love from both Lancaster Christian Academy and Lighthouse Christian School was overwhelming. He said he'd like to call it his, quote, George Bailey moment, end quote, where he felt like the richest guy in town at the end of It's a Wonderful Life. And and at least from looking here, he said he loved everyone on both sides, and he definitely enjoyed the experience there.
I'm glad he mentioned what movie that was from.
Because no idea for you.
I looked at it at first. No, I looked at it at first, and I was like, George Bailey, why do I know that name? And then he said the name. I said, oh, okay. There we go.
At least said it there. But, Brendan, we got to see Lighthouse Christian in the first week of the season. It's a big difference from their game against the Freedom Cowboys at the opener to go from that and only losing by 26, especially to how incredible Lancaster Christian has looked at the start of the year. So it's a good start for at least Lighthouse Christian. Not the positive record on the season they want, but there's a lot of things they can improve off of.
Yeah, absolutely. But what much to really improve off of for me, because community Cowboys, they're just a dominant team. But Lighthouse Christian, I figured they just need to tweak their offense a little bit, make sure it was good and running. And obviously, as we can tell, they got a nice run.
Who?
I think he said the community of freedom.
It's just Freedom Cowboys.
Freedom Cowboys, yeah.
That's what I said, isn't it?
Something similar along like
One
that.
of us is on crack.
I said the Cowboys. I just said the Cowboys. I ain't say like
not like it. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We know what he meant. It's just like whenever I correct James, he's like, you know what I meant.
You know what I meant.
You know what I meant.
No, I was confused. You
James
said
is just
community
getting old.
Cowboys. Facts.
He's still trying to recover from the sleep deprivation. Yeah, you were awake 50 out of 53 hours.
No, it was like 37 out of 40.
Something like that.
I could have drove for you a little bit halfway.
No, that wasn't the issue. It was once we got to yesterday.
Oh yeah.
If I'd stayed up for those 3 hours, I'd have really been in trouble yesterday. But I got a little nap.
Mm-hmm.
Threw back a rain. I wish Core Power made energy drinks. Just so
Does
you know.
Coca-Cola still make energy? I think they have Coke Energy.
The
same brand, but
they have coffee
no.
now.
Yeah, Coke coffee. That's right.
I want
caffeinated protein shake.
caffeinated protein shake.
I don't know if that's good after a workout, though.
Listen, Linda. Body Armor, Body Armor has a drink with caffeine in it. Okay? So
that doesn't.
I understand that's an energy.
But is Body Armor good?
Oh yes. Oh, 100%. I live
compared
off
to
Body Armor,
Fairlife.
Dude. Well, no, obviously not. But they're also in 2 different lanes. Body Armor is what you drink while.
You guys all took a pause so that I could do the product placement.
That wasn't why I paused. Body Armor is for like while you're working. Like when I'm working outdoors or working in the heat, I drink Body Armor because obviously this is like a recovery drink. So then you would drink this at the end of the day.
Got you.
Or after a workout, and then during the workout you would drink something like that.
Fair enough in that case, but
I guess Coca-Cola would have like Powerade, but I'm not a Powerade guy. I'm a Core Power guy, but I'm not like a Powerade guy.
So I guess Body Armor is your go-to like during workout stuff.
100%. Well, not workouts because I don't work out, but
what about
run.
Gatorade?
If you should see me running, you should start running too. But anyways,
he said that a few times before, but. All right, well, congratulations to the Lighthouse Christian School Lions. They get the victory, and then their rescheduled game.
Oh.
You got anything on that game?
Coke has Rain, Monster, NOS, Body Armor, and Full Throttle. So Coke does own Body Armor. Okay. All right.
So it's the same brand. Okay. So there's no contest. They're both good.
We need to get in touch with someone from Body Armor.
That is true.
I would advocate.
Can we
for
get
them
some
100%.
connections on there? Producer Audrey, could you start looking up on that? Maybe she could start doing the research on that one. But congratulations to the Lighthouse Christian School Lions, to Lancaster Christian Academy.
Lighthouse for a great game.
Lighthouse for a great game, especially for Lancaster Christian. They travel.
Wait a minute.
Lancaster Christian Academy. They have a bye week for Labor Day weekend. And as for the Lighthouse Christian School Lions, their rescheduled game on Thursday, right before Labor Day weekend officially starts, they collide with the Ezell Harding Christian School Eagles.
Wait a minute. I was told that Lancaster won, right?
Yeah, that's why I was saying congratulations to Lancaster.
So why does the Max Prep have it?
Why does Max Prep says Lighthouse winning?
Maybe the score was entered incorrectly on there.
Maybe.
Come on, Linda.
Are we? What? Hey, is this like?
Unless this is a Matrix thing where someone purposely.
Is this Max Prep's gate?
Well, no. Here's the deal. Here's the deal, James. We know that there are some people who are out to get you because of your Stephen A. Shannon hot takes. So you probably could have been given a false score just so you would mess it up on the show on Sunday.
It's wrong on Max Preps.
Okay.
Or I got told wrong, and I'm pretty sure I didn't get told wrong.
Oh. All right.
Because I trust my source.
Yeah, probably someone just entered it incorrectly on Max Preps. It says 46-20 Lighthouse won over Lancaster, but
that's what I said.
All right, let's go with this again. For individual matchup for the Lighthouse Christian School Lions, their second of the year, rescheduled game against the Ezell Harding Christian School Eagles, and for Lancaster Christian Academy, they go on a bye week and get to enjoy their Labor Day weekend, going into the first weekend of September. In Alabama, the Freedom Cowboys had, I believe, that their first home game of the season, and it was against the Christian Community School Colts, and they picked up the win, 56-28. Freedom Cowboys are now 3-0 on the year, and great start for Kyle Collins and company, especially with the struggles they had last year. I think they were above 500 in 2020 or close to around that mark. For them to start 3-0. Great effort by all the players in that regard, especially for them. We got to see their first win of the year for them to go into that 3-win streak and everything. But for Christian Community, we haven't seen them on broadcast yet. We've seen how they performed the last several weeks. They had a bye week going into the Freedom game, and they got their victory at home against the Tennessee Heat. So they start out the season 1-1. But for Christian Community, it's tough loss, especially traveling all the way down to Huntsville from White House in that regard, Brendan. But for Freedom, that just shows how good they are.
FYI, Freedom was 3-7 last year.
3-7, so below
3-7 with 2 forfeit wins.
Yep.
That they've claimed.
So now for them to start out 3-0, more wins than 2020. But Brendan, for the Freedom Cowboys, just business as usual. It seems.
Business as usual, baby. Them Cowboys are rolling on. Great defensive play, as I can see through the quarters. In the second quarter, they only allowed Christian Community 8 points. Third quarter, they got on the board more than once, and with 14 points. And of course, fourth quarter they probably just leaned up and gave them that 6 points because Freedom Cowboys defense is nothing to mess with. I tell you that. But I'm sure that offense, that trio of the running backs, I'm sure they put in work as well. Can't wait to watch those boys again.
And I mean, it just, they were already having a star come back with Butler. They already had Lorio coming back, and then they added Raymond Hunt and Will O'Neal, and just it's crazy. And the fact that we'll talk about it in a minute, but Ezekiel was missing a few players.
Including their starting kicker was out, and some other guys were out.
You bring that in, and Corey Murphy's a grown man, and I don't mean to get off on a tangent. He's a grown man, and so this is a big matchup between these two.
It absolutely is
coming up. But Freedom they continue to roll, and it looks like the injury bug hasn't hit them too bad. There's teams that have gotten bitten real bad, so this was a big win for Freedom. How about this being the only? Alabama went 2-1 against Tennessee on the weekend.
2-1.
Freedom beat CCS, Grace beat Evangel, and then Ezell Harding beat Tennessee.
Almost, it could have been a 3-0 sweep the way that Evangel game went, which we'll talk about that in a little bit. But also want to highlight Christian Community did post their stats for the game. They had Will Adams 13 carries for 41 yards. Caden Poulin did 10 carries for 48 yards. So it looks like they were trying to put some work in. So, and Poulin was also had 7 for 13, 245 passing yards on the game as well. And
Poulin's actually a big time CrossFit athlete.
Yeah.
He's putting work in. Hudson Mortimer.
He was the main target.
2 catches, 110 yards, and a receiving touchdown. And then Poulin ran for 2, which quarterback running for 2, but he only has 48 yards tells me it was a sneak or a bootleg or something like that.
And for a freshman, that's pretty impressive.
That's really impressive.
Yeah, impressive stuff. Don't know. Did we catch any stats for the Freedom Cowboys from that game?
No, I have not. I got some film. I think I didn't get a chance to review it, but I guarantee that those boys showed up.
Oh yeah. Especially with that score line. Congrats to the Freedom Cowboys on their 56-28 victory. Next week they go back on the road to collide with the other undefeated team in Alabama right now, the Ezekiel Academy Knights. And for Christian Community, that's going to be a good one. But for Christian Community, they start out the season 1-1, and they go back to May Flanders Field to host their first in-divisional matchup in the TSIAA, hosting the Franklin Classical School Knights. Another contest that was going on at the teams we cover, the Ezell Harding Christian School Eagles traveled to the Franklin Christian Academy Falcons. Not the night anyone on that squad wanted. 27-0, the Eagles took the loss to FCA. I believe it was also there's a lot of pomp and circumstance that went into that night as well. Something like that, or their field opening and such. But Ezell Harding, you gotta hate it, but having 2 weeks in a row where they got blown out, especially with not having a week of practice the prior week and such, and it's I don't know because we don't have any statistics to pull up here of what Ezell Harding's players did, but it's tough, and this is going to be a rough week of practice for Ezell Harding after that loss.
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair, if there's anybody that's going to get those boys back on track, it's Coach McGee. But that's a tough one to take. I don't know. Maybe the injury bug was still hanging around, but that's those are the lumps that you take throughout the season, for sure.
Yeah, that's a tough loss there for Ezell Harding, and they travel next week on the road to play their rescheduled game against the Lighthouse Christian School Lions on Thursday night, and the Battle of the Bell takes place in Antioch. Well, the Sacred Heart of Jesus High School Knights 62-35 against Abundant Life Christian Academy, and that game being out in Jackson. One of the first times in a while that a team from Tennessee in 8-man football has collided with a team from Arkansas. So for Sacred Heart, good win for them, especially with taking that tough loss against the Tennessee Heat 6 days prior, and they start out their season 1-1.
I mean, it's a big win. They needed to get back on track after that game with the Heat. Just absolutely, getting beat. It looks like their schedule's off a little bit. Looks like they did find a game. Max Preps has them playing West Memphis Christian, but I don't know if that's an 11 or 8-man game. Sorry. Abundant Life out of North Little Rock, and there are no stats for this game at all. But, yeah, big win for Sacred Heart. And, you got to think that the guys are still rolling and still, still putting in the work. Obviously, this, like I said, I'm trying to pull up the roster. I know Keel is still playing, and he did have a lot of boys came back from last year. Blake Biggs is a guy that came back, Mingledorf.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, they've got guys who went through those lumps last year, and then, obviously the tough loss to the Heat and bounced back with win against Arkansas.
Yeah, good win for Sacred Heart, and guess Max Prep says they picked up a game. It says on our schedule they have a bye week, but if they got a game, good for them. If not, they have a bye week before they collide with the South Haven Christian School Patriots next week. All right, the other game that went down in the TSIAA South, Providence Christian keeps on dealing the shutouts. Just keep dealing those, and that defense standing strong after their really close and tough loss to Lancaster Christian Academy the week prior. They got the job done against the Zion Christian Academy Eagles 34-0, and that game, of course, was on the road in Columbia. And wow, this is Providence again. We keep going back to it. Coach Ferguson said, "If there's a time to beat us, it's in 2020."
You love that quote.
I do, because you see that it's being proven. We're seeing that quote.
Except for the Lancaster game.
Okay, that is fair. I will give you that. But losing 25-20 in that game, and then the rest of their games being shutouts, like you have to take that into account, especially against a good Lancaster team. So, but. James.
Yeah, but to be fair, Providence was playing Zion and Classical, who when they played, it was tied 6-6 in the second quarter.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't like either, and I understand there was a weather aspect, but it wasn't like either of these offenses were prolific for Classical or Zion. They both have good players.
Mm-hmm.
Do not misunderstand what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw Zion against South Haven Christian.
Mm-hmm.
They were able to score a couple offensive touchdowns, and they had the pick six.
Mm-hmm.
Classical, we haven't seen them in person yet, except for the Jamboree.
Mm-hmm.
And much love to both those coaches, but I don't know that, if they face an offense that really, has it together like Lancaster did, and then they put up, granted, only 25, but they still put up enough points.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know when they face an offense, that's something they're going to have to get used to. I think they're going to have a great season. I picked them to win all but one game.
Mm-hmm. There's your phone going off. Congratulations.
Yeah, I see that. I know what he's calling for, too. He wants to play Rocket League. But, yeah, I think they'll do well. But once they face an offense that has it together and is, rolling and balling, that's going to be a true test for them. Lancaster was a test. And, Zion, they're still getting to know the 8-man game. Coach Jordan's getting the guys ready. I think they'll be fine. But I think they will have to take their lumps, and Friday night was one of those lumps.
Yeah, for Zion Christian especially, not having a full experience of a game in essentially 2 weeks that lead up to that point, had about a quarter and a half to work with. It's tough on that regard, but to be shut out, especially against a good team like Providence Christian, it's tough. But for Coach Ferguson and company, congratulations! They are now 1-1 in their in-division record and only have the one loss on the year thus far. So for the Lions of Providence, they collide on Friday. They go back home to host the Grace Baptist Academy Golden Eagles. And as for Zion Christian, they have a Thursday night matchup at home against the Tennessee Heat.
Ooh.
Well, another matchup. Yeah, that Tennessee Heat Zion game should be pretty interesting. Another interesting matchup for this past weekend: the South Haven Christian School Patriots 52, Franklin Classical School 6. One-sided game. South Haven just keeps rolling, and Coach Sawyer's and company, even with the seniors they lost from the class of 2021, they're still firing on all cylinders. It looks like.
Hey, and props to South Haven. They've already won more games than I predicted them to win. I mean, props. They've gotten the guys up and going. Ben Sorto has been a.
They won't let you live that
piece.
down either. Anytime you go up to South Haven.
Cool, and that's cool. But no, Ben Sorto's been a big part of that. He has really stepped up. Mm-hmm. He's a different type of running back than Manny Dang, but that doesn't mean he's not as powerful. And I mean that showed up Friday night. Classical did get the touchdown off of Logan Frazier, who is now healthy and playing. Jaden Frazier's younger brother transferred in. He's dealing with some injury issues first of the season, but he's back now, and I think that'll really give a boost, a big shot in the arm to Classical's offense. And just to update, the West Memphis Christian Sacred Heart game is an 8-man game.
Okay.
I was not aware of that, so that's kind of cool.
All right. Well, you get to make a week of prediction instead of a preseason one with that. So
I know. I mean, we already know who I'm going to take.
Yeah, we know who you're taking in that one. But well, you've seen both South Haven, you've seen both Classical and such. Is that the way you thought it would play out there, Brendan?
Absolutely. South Haven is just a hard team to beat, but especially Ben Soto, which I probably told y'all. He's probably in playoff mode already, and it's probably just going to turn up even more as they go to the playoffs.
Yeah, it's probably just going to keep going and going. But for the Patriots, they keep on rolling as they have a Thursday night matchup on the road in Knoxville against the Tennessee School for the Deaf Vikings. Congratulations to them on the win. Leave South Haven at this point. They're now 3-0 to start out their year, and for Franklin Classical School Knights, they start out the year at 0-2 right now with that Zion game pending rescheduling, and they have their second in-division matchup on the road against the Christian Community School Colts.
So Grace and South Haven are both undefeated.
As of now, yes, they are.
Unbeaten, rather.
Unbeaten, yeah. Undefeated is at the end of the season.
At the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Unbeaten. Okay, all right.
Yeah, so
I don't think they play each other this year either.
I don't believe so. We look at the schedule again. Nope, they do not. Not in the regular season, at least.
Right.
So we go from there. Lighthouse Homeschool Warriors go into another game in Alabama. They scored 49 points and got the victory against the Southern Christian Patriots, who only got 12 on the board. So for Coach J.J. Duarte and company, good victory for them. Especially with taking that loss on the road at North River Christian.
They beat North River.
Win against
Christian.
North River, lost to Freedom, and then bouncing back. So now at a 2-1 record to start out the year. So Coach J.J. Duarte and company just getting another good victory.
That's a big divisional win for them too.
Yep.
They're in the ACSC, but like you said, they had the big win with North River, take the loss to Freedom, and really able to bounce back in this one. I'm trying to find the stats, and I know they're on here. Lighthouse does a great job putting their stats up.
Southern Christian just has their stats up.
There's no Lighthouse stats?
No, not on Max Prep at least.
I'm sure they're going to up at some point.
Yeah, Lighthouse has them up for everybody else. They only gave up. Well, I mean, we can work off of Southern Christian's only putting their stats up. So Lighthouse only gave up 72 passing yards. They gave up, 21 completions. Or no, they gave up eight completions out of 21 passes. They gave up 58 rushing yards. Let's see. Had a fumble recovery. And it looks like Southern Christian had some tackles. But like I said, big division win for Lighthouse. It definitely helps.
Yep, first division win for them for the year. And for the Lighthouse Homeschool Warriors, they have a bye week before they collide on September 10th for their second divisional matchup against the Ezekiel Academy Knights. And then
Ezekiel could be down after this week's game, and Lighthouse could catch them at a good time.
That is true. It's
they
very
could
possible.
be beaten up after that Freedom game, and
could be.
Lighthouse could be sitting back going,
pick
the bones.
Yeah, very much so. All right, the game we were at on Friday night, what a matchup it turned out to be, 48-28. As far as we're aware, and maybe Jonathan Thompson can correct us on this, probably the first time in a while that a Tennessee team has beaten Evangel at the Evangel Sports Complex.
Hang on.
I know you're going to look at history, but Max Preps only shows so many things.
No, they show game history. I got to find game history.
They show game history, but not all of the game history. So we'll see how that goes. But while he's looking at that, Brendan, 48-28, it was close. I'm trying to remember the end of halftime. It was in 1 to 2 points in the 20s for both teams, and it was close. It was competitive. It's just that Coach Ateka and company, they turned on the Jets. They knew what they had to do and just got the W on Friday night. But what a great contest.
What a great contest indeed. Honestly, this is probably one of the best games we're honestly going to see. But, hey, I'm going to hold them to that. But, honestly, it was a great game, but Grace Baptist was just more hungry, as my prediction kept on going, because I was just like, they won these 3 games.
You were on the prediction.
Man, look, sometimes you just got to believe in the underdog, if people believe they were the underdog or not. But to me, I think they were going to win it with no problems, but
fair enough.
That says it all. But also, Connect. Like, we see
Cooper Connect, yeah.
We see him do that RPO and be a great runner, but his passing was on point Friday.
Mm-hmm. No, it absolutely was. So Grace Baptist didn't enter any stats on Max Preps, but look at the box score: 12-8. Yep. Grace was leading in the first quarter. 14-20. Evangel was leading 28-26.
That second quarter is probably the best second quarter I've ever seen.
And then and then the second half, 22-0. Yeah. Grace shut him out in the second half, which that's almost unheard of when you're talking about the Evangel Lightning. That's almost completely unheard of. But competitive game at halftime, and it's just
the defense stepped up right after. Like, he made the right adjustments. Wherever Coach Ega did, he did the right adjustments at the right time.
They 100% outplayed Evangel. Grace did.
You say so on that? All right.
Just no. I mean, how you going to dispute? Oh no, they were fine. No, they got outplayed. Mm-hmm. And and again, all love to those players and Coach Smith. It's always great to see them, but they didn't have a chance.
Eli Whitfield went 19 for 43 on 199 passing yards, so under 50% on completion rates. 1 touchdown and 1 interception, and rushing, Hunter Atkins put in work with 105 rushing yards out of 12 carries, and top receivers Judah Thompson, 90 yards off of 14 receptions. So it's and on the defensive side, you had one player the most tackles totally had was 13, and the rest of them were in between like 8, 8, 4, and such. So there were players that certainly put in work. But it was just that Grace Baptist defense was not letting the offense really do anything on Friday night.
They definitely disrupted Whitfield, especially because he was on a good roll. Like, you even were about to ask me about that. It's just that pressure once you get to that quarterback. He starts getting that little twinkly feet, and that arm kind of gets a little janky because he starts
getting that what?
He gets a little twinkly feet, like. he gets a little scared feet, kind of. He's worried about getting sacked, and he's trying to get rid of that ball real quick.
I think we found another Brennanism for going into the rest of the season. Twinkly feet. That'll be Twinkly feet, sponsored by Twinkies. Call us. Well, you got anything else you want to add on that contest, James? As soon as he sends back your tweet, hashtag it. Yep. Yeah, it's like for Deadpool. Oh no! Send your tweet. Hashtag it. Go get him, Tiger. All right.
Do what now?
That's from Deadpool, where they were about to.
I haven't seen Deadpool.
What? All right. No. I know what we're doing in Florida. There's a lot of things we have to do in Florida, but
movie night.
Yeah, movie night. Okay.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
All right. So, any final thoughts you have on that Evangel Grace Baptist contest?
How about Grace going out against Ezell Harding? running the RPO. We good?
That camera giving some issues. Focus, James. Focus.
James, we're on show. Come on.
Focus. We're
Come on.
on
I'm just
air.
asking. I
It's the
can't
4th
help.
week.
I love how even Audrey's like,
It's the 4th
It's like,
week.
look over there. Look over
okay,
there.
so against Ezell Harding, they come out and run the RPO.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, okay, here's their bread and butter. Then they come out against Evangel and start slanging that football everywhere.
Well, at first they did the RPO for a moment, but Evangel
For a
shut it down.
minute, but they still.
Yeah, Evangel keeps.
Pretty wild.
Evangel kept shutting it down. But congratulations to Grace Baptist. And have you gotten the stat yet? Is that first time a Tennessee team is won in the Evangel Sports Complex?
I'm still trying to. Find that
Okay.
stat.
All right, we're gonna go with
It's
yes.
been a busy weekend.
Yeah, we're gonna go with yes until James just cuts me off later in the show and says, "By the way, here's the stat on it." But congratulations for the Grace Baptist Academy
I know
Golden Eagles.
over the last 2 years, no one. Over the last 3 years, no Tennessee team's gone in.
Yeah, I know. The last 3 years, no, hasn't happened.
I was trying to take a shortcut to find it, but we're just gonna have to do this year by year.
Yeah, well, we'll just roll with it. But congratulations
Is that what we're
to,
gonna do, Spencer? We're just gonna.
like I said, yes until proven otherwise. Congratulations to the Golden Eagles. They got the victory against the Evangel Lightning. They continue to travel on the road where they collide with Providence Christian Academy. Likely the first contest, the contest for first seed in the TSIAA South between Coach Ferguson and Coach Ateka and the players in Murfreesboro. And as for the Evangel Lightning, they take the tough loss. James, Audrey's trying to get your attention. I hate that I had to say that afterwards. I know we're on air.
I was trying to give her my attention, and she goes, "Look at the camera."
She was directly calling name, but anyways, okay. So as for the Evangel Christian School Lightning, they collide. They have another home game against Southern Christian High School on Friday night. As for the final game of the weekend that was picked up on Wednesday last second, ended up a lot more one-sided than we anticipated. But for the Ezekiel Academy Knights, traveling 4 hours from Montgomery, Alabama, they got the victory 74-12 against the Tennessee Heat. And I'm going to check and see if we got any statistics on there. But from what you saw yesterday, there, James, just another example of Ezekiel Academy being way different from last year. Excuse me. I mean, similar to what they were last year, but at least, but what a contest! What a game!
Well, I'm Brendan, but
What did I say?
you said James.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
My apologies.
I probably look like a James, but
No.
Okay, Thompson says that the last Evangel loss to a Tennessee team was against CCS at NACA's in 2012.
Well, that was at NACA. Talking about
We're
in the
talking
Evangel
about-
Sports
in
Complex.
Alabama.
Yeah, at least in the Evangel Sports Complex. Don't think it's ever happened. But Ezekiel Academy, James, 74-12. What a game!
Don't use that tone with me. I was trying to help with the camera.
Oh no, I wasn't trying to give a tone. I was just
All right,
continuing the
all right.
conversation. But no,
All right.
74-12.
Man, first off, like I said, Corey Murphy's a grown man. 100%
grown man.
grown man.
Derrick Henry, grown man.
Garrick Henry level grown man. Okay. Ezekiel just outperformed and out executed. It just boils down to that. I mean, Tennessee Heat have talent. They just didn't show up last night, and the injury bug hit them a little bit. Carter's still out. Eli Whitaker was dealing with some issues.
There's a lot of
Trying to
cramping
remember
going on
kids.
that sideline.
Yeah, I'm trying to hang on. There was one other player that was out, and I'm trying to remember his name. Let's see.
Yeah, while you're looking at that, there's
It was
one.
17.
Mhm.
17 was on crutches.
You talking about for Ezekiel?
For the Heat.
For the Heat,
find-
17. That was Wyatt Hill, senior.
Okay, yeah, so he was out.
Yeah, so he was out. And of course, Carter Sutton still out for. Is he out for the year or close to it, like halfway through the season?
He's supposed to be getting cleared possibly this week.
If that's the case,
Which would
that'll be
huge.
Mhm. especially for their matchup coming up. But at least for the Heat, one player that you definitely have to give a shout out to is the senior Kyron Washington. Because even when they were down by so much, you remember that one run where he had about 20 or 30 yards after contact, where he was just weaving through the defense and avoided 4 or 5 tackles. Didn't get a touchdown out of it, but just going to about 20, 30 yards to get that big gain. That's Kyron Washington, man.
That was just him being a senior.
Yeah.
Just wanting to get his team that kick. Because sometimes when you're able to get that kick, maybe there's some self-esteem that rises up in the team. It's like, okay, guys, let's do this.
Yep.
So not relative. Evangel did lose to Franklin Christian in 2015, but that was in Franklin. So 2012 wasn't the last time they lost to a Tennessee team.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2015. But, again, not relevant because it was in Tennessee.
Yeah, again, not relevant. But how about Kyron Washington, James?
Hey, he's a baller. There's a reason.
I know you're good.
There's a reason he got nominated for Player of the Week. And let's go ahead and clarify that. Here's how Player of the Week works. Coaches send in their nominations. We put the nominations up. Everyone votes on them. Most vote getters wins. Boom. It's as transparent as you can get.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a reason he got nominated, especially with his performance against Sacred Heart. And, he proved that, hey, he's a baller.
Mm-hmm.
And he's gonna give his all every time he goes out on that field. So very, very impressive. I think he had both their touchdowns yesterday.
Believe so.
I know he had.
I think he got one.
He may have got one of them. I think the other one was
he got a run where there was like he either got a run or a pass.
I think
there was a long run. There was a long run we missed on camera.
Mm-hmm.
I think
there was a touchdown we missed on camera. That one. So then who got the other one?
I think Luchtefeld may have got one of the touchdowns.
Yeah,
he may have gotten a rushing touchdown because he had to scramble. Luchtefeld had to scramble in the pocket a lot of times. The junior kept making plays out of nothing in those situations. But
who?
Luchtefeld.
You said junior though. Oh, the junior. Okay.
Yeah, the
I thought you were talking
junior.
about my brother. I was like,
No.
my brother wasn't even there.
If he had the opportunity to, he would probably
That
enjoy
joker
being in the
wouldn't
football.
make a single play.
Also want to give a little quick shout out to Leach, the quarterback of Ezekiel Academy. He talk about if you want to watch like a quarterback, like an actual quarterback in high school. I feel like I would point to Leach because he's like a complete package.
We talk about Kinnett's performance Friday night. Leach was slinging that football.
Absolutely.
And I can confirm, I'm going to go ahead and confirm it, no Tennessee team has ever gone to Evangel 1.
Yeah, so Grace
I'm
Baptist made the
confirming
history in 2021, so congratulations to them on that. Yeah, let's give it up for history on that to Coach Ateka and company as they are 3-0 to start the year. What a way to start 3-0 in their 8-man program history. But I believe that wraps it up for our recap of the Ezekiel Academy game. So we'll just move on from that. Congratulations to the Knights on the victory, especially with the circumstances of that last-second victory. I guess, James.
DeAndre Martinez had the other Heat touchdown.
Shout
out to
Martinez,
the YouTube listeners.
Martinez. For Ezekiel Academy, they've got a home contest against the Freedom Cowboys, and what's going to be a really good game to watch at. And as for the Tennessee Heat, of course, for Ezekiel Academy, they start out 3-0. For the Tennessee Heat, they start out 1-2, and they have their Thursday contest against the Zion Christian Academy Eagles.
Speaking of that game coming up,
you talking about Tennessee Heat and Zion?
No, I'm talking about Ezekiel.
Oh, Ezekiel Freedom. While you're getting in our extreme interview
I'm
for
ready.
today. All right, if you just want to go ahead and get them in, I was going to do a brief summary.
Go ahead and do the summary.
All right, so quick summary. So I am the bracketology person for 8-Man Extreme because James doesn't want to go through that, and Brendan is new on board. So latest we have right now, South Haven Christian School. Congratulations. They're the first team in the TSIAA who has punched their ticket to the Division I playoffs, as there are only 5 teams eligible in the North. You get 2 wins, you're in. So they've clinched the first playoff berth, essentially. They haven't clinched number 1, 2, or 3 seed yet, but they've clinched their playoff berth going into the true state championship playoffs of the TSIAA. So congratulations to South Haven on that, to Coach Sawyers and company. And with their matchup, next divisional matchup they have is against Christian Community on September 17th. They'll know their playoff destiny after playing Christian Community and Ezell Harding on the 17th and 24th of September. So they'll pretty much know if they get into the playoffs or not. Franklin Classical 0-1. Lancaster Christian, they're 1-0 in division. Providence Christian is 1-1 with their matchups of the previous weekend, and Lighthouse Homeschool Warriors, in regards to their conference, they are 1-0. So not a lot of other playoff clinching scenarios that have happened at this point. So, all right, I think we got them ready. I think we got them. Now we have on the phone with us the head coach of the Freedom Cowboys, Coach Kyle Collins. Coach, we were down in Alabama this past weekend, and it's humid, really humid and such. How was your guys' game on Friday night?
Well, the game went extremely well. We did what we went out to do, but yes, it is extremely humid. We had a rain shower at the end of the first quarter, which I just stood out in, and actually I think I stuck my face up to drink some water. It was so good, but it felt great. So that cooled some things off for us.
Oh, that's gotta be great. And you know, specifically just to dig a little bit more into your competition with Christian Community, that's a contest tradition that's happened every year, where you guys have gone back and forth, either up to White House or back down to Freedom and such. And especially for you to win in the fashion you did of 56-28, how proud are you of your players and the performance you guys had to not only get that win against Coach Flanders and the top-notch team he puts out every year, but to also start out the season 3-0 and start out better than you did in 2020?
Well, it's a little bit surprising, to be honest with you. We put in a whole new offense and a whole new defense. We thought we'd be a little bit behind the 8 ball during the season, but we always kind of use Christian Community as a measuring rod. They're always very well coached. They always got good football players. They play very physical. And so we really, going into the game, felt good about what we were doing and good about our team. But until you play a team like Coach Flanders puts on, you really don't know where you are. At the end of the first half, I even told the other coach staff, hey, we may have a pretty good team this year. So we felt pretty good about the night. We did what we wanted to do. We pretty much controlled both sides of the ball, and that's what we went out to do. And so we came away from there feeling pretty good about ourselves. But, you know, you're only as good as your last win. It's a different week and a different opponent.
And coach, this year, of course, a lot different from 2020 with the workouts and everything. So you've had more time to actually have workouts with your players up close and personal and talk with them. So which players are you most proud of from the leaders from your summer workouts and in the last 3 games? Which of your players specifically are you most proud of, and how they're going to perform going through the rest of 2021?
Well, I'm most proud of the kids who act like kids with integrity, who play the game hard and give great effort. You know, being a great athlete, you really don't do anything to become a great athlete except thank God for your talent. The kids that work hard are the ones that steal my heart. It's obvious that our quarterback and our leader, Oliver Johnson, is having an outstanding year. He played quarterback for the first time of his life last year, so he's worked on it, worked himself into a position where he is not only a leader, but he also is a smarter quarterback on defense. He's a great player. We're kind of got a lot of depth at running back this year. All you guys know Joshua Butler, who is an outstanding player, but we picked up some kids from Riverside, and they've been very instrumental in what we're trying to do also. And so I would probably tell you that everybody on our defense has been the ones I'm most proud of. Coach Oliver has put in a new system. They've worked very hard to understand it. It's built around their abilities, and been playing some good defense this year.
Yeah, I tell you, Raymond Hunt has been impressive going from Riverside over to Freedom, so I can definitely attest to that. He's been pretty impressive, and the other guys from Riverside, they've seemed to very much find their place with the Freedom Cowboys and have definitely shown up to play ball.
Well, you know, the first day they showed up, and you know the story, they didn't have enough kids. I called their coach. I said, Coach O, any of those kids are welcome to come down and play with us, you know, because I want them to have the opportunity to finalize their high school careers. I didn't know if they were superstars or whether they were bench warmers. Didn't really care, to be honest with you.
Right,
I just said, if we got a place for them, Ray and Will came down. They've been great contributors. The first day they were there, I told everybody, including the parents, this is the last day we'll refer to them as the Riverside Boys. From this point, they're going to be Cowboys. And
For sure.
They fit in. The kids, they're just like they've been there for years. So we're really glad to have them, and they're good kids. That's the main thing.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Coach, y'all put in a new system for this season, and then earlier during the summer, you were able to go participate in a 5-on-5 in South Carolina that the Carolina Wildcats were hosting. How big was that in moving the system forward, and then in the growth of Oliver playing quarterback?
I think it was very integral. First, anybody who's followed us know we've not been much of a passing
For
team.
sure, right.
We've really never had a quarterback that had the ability to sling it around. So by virtue of the depth at our wide receiver skill positions, by virtue of this summer, we did spend some time doing a 5-on-5. Make no mistakes about it. We're not running the Air Collins out there, okay? we've got a little more passing ability now, and it was really a product of the personnel that we were going to have and the lack of depth that we was going to have on the line. So we just decided we was going to spread it out, and as y'all know, in the 8-man game, when you're playing on a regular-sized field, spread it out is never a bad idea if you can execute it.
Exactly. Well, and it never hurts to have a little bit deeper toolbox either.
Oh, listen, I said this to somebody yesterday. You want to be a good coach, have good players. That's the way to do it.
Absolutely, Coach. And going into this week, of course, better start than in 2021 than 2020. But as you know, the pressure comes on after starting out with a certain record. You know, we talked about it on Friday with Evangel. You know, when you're 3-time defending national champions, there's a lot of pressure that comes with that. You guys are starting out 3-0. You're about to collide with another team that is 3-0, and you're about to go on the road to Montgomery to collide with the Ezekiel Academy Knights. What are you talking to your guys about? What are you training for in practice to face off against Coach Wilson and company on Friday night?
Why don't you just ask him to tell? Why don't you just ask him to tell you his game plan?
I mean, I'm sure there's going to be some film. If there's film exchange between him and Coach Wilson or something like that, so I'm sure they'll find out it sooner or later. But
you might as well be an Ezekiel scout.
That's right. That's right. Listen, I'll tell you this. I watched film on them this morning after church, and they're very impressive. They're physical. They're aggressive. We got a challenge ahead of us Friday night. They're good. They're probably the best team we played thus far. And you're right. We're 3-0, so they're going to be keyed up for us. We've been playing them every year for the last 5-6 years, and they've gotten better every year. That speaks well of their program. They've got some really good athletes that I saw on film. It's going to be a tough matchup. But it's time. You know, you spend the first 3 weeks, we've been able to dominate pretty good. We've been able to get our young kids some experience. It's time to go get into a dogfight, and let's see what we're really made of.
Absolutely.
Well, Coach, we give this opportunity to every one of the coaches that come onto our show, because sometimes there's coaches who may have some hot takes they want to give out their chest. They want to unlock their Stephen A. Shannon, as the term goes. So, floor is yours if you have any coaching hot takes that you'd like to give on Extreme Talk.
Here's mine that's relative to you, Coach. How bad of a name is the Rocket City Trash Pandas? Terrible.
Hey, man, what are you talking about?
Terrible.
Rocket City Trash Pandas is a great name.
Rocket City is fine. Trash Pandas, though? I mean, come on.
Let me put it in economic terms for you, okay? If we were the Rocket City Rangers,
right?
Ain't nobody buying that hat. Nobody buying that hat.
That's fair.
But you put the Trash Pandas on there, and guess what? Everybody's wearing the hat and the T-shirt.
Hey, makes sense. Makes sense.
He knows how the game works, that's for sure. Well, Coach, we appreciate you taking the time on your Sunday to come on the show. We know you got a lot of coaching preparation, a lot of different things you could be doing, but we appreciate you spending a part of your time on your Sunday with us, and best of luck to you and the rest of the boys colliding with the Ezekiel Academy Knights on Friday night.
Appreciate you, Coach.
Hey, I appreciate y'all, and also I appreciate everything y'all do for 8-man football. We really do. Thank y'all.
Appreciate it. We'll see y'all. Good luck.
All right, guys.
That was Coach Kyle Collins, the head coach of the Freedom Cowboys, taking time out of his Sunday. One of many good interviews we get to have
Good stuff.
every Sunday and such. You could tell how much there's. Of course, not a knock on any of the coaches we interview, but you could genuinely tell with Coach Collins he cares about his players and really cares about
100%.
not just about how they perform on the football field. Because he mentioned it specifically of their integrity, caring about how they are on the field and off the field. It's I forget where I heard it, but there was one assistant coach around the league who was talking to his players on the sideline and said something about we're trying to build up men. We're not trying to build up football players. We're trying to build up men. See, and definitely the culture that Coach Kyle Collins has is definitely something special that they have with the Freedom Cowboys. It
might have been him for the player of the game.
It could have been him. I may have heard somewhere else something, but it's again about. It's about integrity and building up.
Let me guess, Spence, you've slept since then.
Yeah, 100%. You've coined that phrase. You coined that phrase for sure.
Man.
But
what?
I also love that. What was that? Was just something. What was that, Audrey?
She likes that saying.
The slept since then. Yeah. We started using it. When did you start using that? Like 2018, 19, something like that.
When I first heard it.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't remember the first time I've said it. I've slept since then.
There it is. I especially appreciate Coach Collins saying because of your joke, I can't even. Riverside players of how he's like from this day forward they're no longer
100%.
Riverside Knights, they're Freedom Cowboys, and immersing them into the family and everyone just accepting them and everything. And it shows how both Raymond Hunt and Will O'Neill have just not just blended in, but they've started even standing out in that Coach Collins system.
Well, and it's the same thing you have to do whenever you have a co-op between, for instance, a couple of years ago you had Tennessee Heat and Hendersonville Christian co-op. They all went under the umbrella of Hendersonville Christian, and they were all Crusaders. It's what you have to do. You have to bring them together, and you have to go ahead and set everything else to the side and focus on the main goal of why you're doing what you're doing. If you have a co-op, why you have the co-op. If you're bringing in players that wouldn't be able to play otherwise, here's your purpose. Here's your goal. So, great talk.
Yeah, good stuff with Coach Kyle Collins. Week 3 is officially in the books for the 2021 8-man football season. And before we get to Week 4, it looks like James has one more thing he wants to contribute.
We don't get into power rankings, but I do want to talk real quick, and you guys covered it a couple weeks ago. The NHSA released their rankings last week.
Yeah, that's actually
for the last week, and it blew me away that Ezekiel. Obviously, they were only 1-0. Freedom was at number 8. That was kind of wild.
Yeah, let me.
So if you just looking at the top 10, okay, just top 10. Evangel Christian, they've got at number 1. That has to drop a little bit, I would think.
Yeah, I would think after that loss.
Here, it's for looking at this top 10. My top 3 now, I would probably go Grace. I would go Ezekiel and Freedom. I think are my top 3.
Who are your top 3?
I take that back. It's slightly disrespectful. Your top 4, I would put South Haven in there. I don't know what order, but I would put South Haven in there. Maybe you could put Grace there because they did beat Evangel, who was number 1, now 3-time defending national champion, blah, 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 all that. Maybe you put Grace at number 1, but I think those 4 have to be in there. And then you have Lancaster Christian at 2-0.
Grace, Evangel, South Haven, and Ezekiel. You're saying those top 4?
I would put Ezekiel over South Haven.
Okay, so your top 4 again: Grace, Evangel, Ezekiel.
Let's see. South Haven's played Zion. They played Lighthouse, and they played FCS.
Classical, yep.
Yeah, I would have them at. See, that's the tough thing because it didn't look like the teams they played, they struggled with them. But is that because of the level of the team's game play, or is it because of how dominant they are? How do you? I'm glad I don't have that job. I don't want to get into rankings.
Good measuring stick for that a good measuring stick for that, probably South Haven will play. They play Lancaster on October 15th, which is way down the road.
Yeah,
But
that's in last
I
week
mean,
of the
if
season.
you just casually look at it, and again, no disrespect to any of the teams and such, but just looking at the on paper matchups, they had South Haven just play Classical. They're at the Tennessee School for the Deaf Vikings, which, at least for TSD, that's their first game of the season, so not sure how that's going to go down. They host Sacred Heart, who's playing the Tennessee Heat. Score on that was essentially a blowout against the Tennessee Heat, and so forth there. Then they're at CCS, at Ezell Harding, and then 2 bye weeks for South Haven on October 1st and 8th, and then they close the season out at Lancaster. So you wonder how that ranking system is going to go with South Haven, because right now they're at 13 from the preliminary rankings at 1-0. They're at 13th. So you wonder how that's going to go with South Haven. The Heat are at 9th, and obviously the update.
These standings aren't right.
Yeah, well, because
They've got South Haven at 1-0. They were 2-0 as of last week.
Yeah, so they just haven't updated.
So yeah,
the records
I would go
on there.
Grace,
Yeah.
Ezekiel, Freedom, Grace. I would go Grace.
Grace number 1. He's really thinking about this.
Ezekiel's only 2-0 though.
Ezekiel?
Yeah, Ezekiel's only 2-0.
Yeah, they started out. They're 2.
Okay.
They're 2-0.
So I would go Grace, Freedom, South Haven, Ezekiel.
I know we'll get into predictions and official picks, but that game against Freedom and Ezekiel, which team needs to win that more in terms of national rankings? Which one has more to prove, you think?
More to prove? Oh, Ezekiel.
Ezekiel.
Hands down.
Which one do you think needs to win more in terms of the?
I mean,
national
if you're okay, so here's what just fell. Oh, pocket knife. I need to tighten that. If you're here's the thing: if you're Ezekiel and you win the game Friday, obviously it helps to have beaten Freedom, but you still got to play Evangel. You still got to play Lighthouse Homeschool. So, you still got to get to your – it's easier being – in some ways it's easier, some ways it's harder to be an independent.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're Freedom, you go beat Ezekiel, and then – let's see. Let me pull up my handy-dandy helmet schedule. The other games to highlight for their season, if you're Freedom, like I said, so Ezekiel, you've got Carolina Wildcats later on, and then you have Tennessee Heat at the end of the season, so depending on how their season goes. So this is really, and they got to play a couple of Franklin teams down the road, but I think this is the game where if they win this one, they potentially could cruise through the rest of the season and just walk right into Panama City.
I find it interesting how I know we don't cover Franklin Christian, but I find it interesting how they're at number 6 when they're the only team that's 0-1 that has a loss in those top 8 ranked
That is
teams.
wild.
And that's as of August 25th. Now, Franklin Christian, that was their game. I guess it was how they played against Evangel is probably what they tiered it on. Because if you think about it, that's probably what it was. Because the final score on that was wasn't it 41-29? Or something close to that was that final score on
Yeah, 41-29 sounds about right.
Yeah, so it was close.
I would have had them. I mean, I wouldn't have had them too low, but I would have had them outside the top 10.
And then they had a bye week, and they just blew out Ezell Harding. So the question now, and they have another bye week as of now before they play against Zion. So I wonder how the national rankings are going to work in that regard.
That's a good point.
But also with Lancaster Christian, at that point in the season, they were number 4, and their only victory was against Providence on that 25-20 victory. At least at the point of those rankings, because it says 1-0 on there. And then
Providence is going to have to move up into the top 10, I think.
Yeah, where do they have Providence? Right,
11.
11. Yeah,
right outside.
I'd figure, especially with the several blowout wins.
Tennessee Heat have to drop out of the top 10. Providence has to move up if you're going to move anybody around in there.
Mm-hmm.
Success Unlimited, take it or leave it.
Yeah, I just.
Let's see. Did they win Friday?
Yeah, they played. Cornerstone Christian on Thursday night. So I wonder what the.
Hang on, let me pull it up.
Yeah,
let's
score
see if
on
they
that.
won.
But yeah, in terms of that Evangel Grace game, that was a good measuring stick, at least, of which one of those was necessarily the more number 1 ranked team. So that again, I'm glad I don't have to worry about actually making the decisions on those rankings. I'm sure the rest of you at this table don't want to make that decision either.
Nah,
I'm
But
good.
maybe
There's
Audrey does. I don't know.
There's a
but
reason we don't do power rankings here, and it's
Yeah.
not because we're scared. It's just
it's too complicated. There's too many
Yeah.
factors.
we've got a multi-layered broadcast and then a radio show that we got to figure out.
You also wonder, Christian Community was ranked 5th on there. They got the 1 win against the Tennessee Heat. I wonder how much they're going to drop now with that loss to the Freedom Cowboys. You think they drop out of the top 10 rankings?
Who?
Christian Community.
Yes, they have to.
Yeah, because that game, and then they have their game against Classical. So again,
Yeah,
that's
CCS has to drop out,
Mhm.
and Pack still hasn't played a game. Pack Panthers. Lighthouse is going to drop for sure. Hang on, let me look, because there's some score. I don't even have to go to Max Preps. NHSA did a great job of putting the game results up.
Yeah.
So looking at that, Evangel Montgomery. Can you find Evangel Montgomery?
They are 22 on.
What's their record? 0-1.
On the sheet, it said 0-0.
Okay.
But in terms of max preps.
So they're 1-0. They're 1-0 because they beat Tabernacle.
Yeah. So 1-0 right now.
It's on Facebook, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have Facebook?
Go ahead, Facebook.
I'm just asking.
Yeah, he does.
On Facebook, search National High School Tournament.
Or I can just send it to him right now.
No, just send it to him. Just send it to him. Fine.
Yeah, I can just send it to him right now. The post. Let's see if I can. Let's see if I can.
I know we're getting off on a tangent.
Well, it's not even a tangent. This is relevant stuff, but it's
Who was the other team I was trying to find? Oh, Success Unlimited. They did not play. Did they play?
Success Unlimited. At least according to their post on August 26th, they were supposed to play Cornerstone Christian on Thursday night. So that was supposed to be on the 26th, right when they posted their first rankings.
I don't even have a game for Success Unlimited. I've got them playing one game, and that's beating Jacksonville Christian. I wonder on social media if there's any indication.
Success Unlimited Academy Mustangs. Missing score. Says the final score has not been reported, but
maybe the game didn't happen.
They were 1-0 against Jacksonville Christian with their game
Right.
on August 20th. Where's Success Unlimited? Montgomery? Huh. You would think that game should have been played. But, yeah, I don't know.
It doesn't look like there's a scoring. I don't even know that game happened.
Yeah, if there's a missing score, maybe then that's another one of the great questions that that may go answered for the NHSA, but unanswered for us until after the fact. But anyways, at least in terms of the national rankings, top 10 right now. Of course, these were prior to the week. These were as of 4 days ago. So there's definitely. They even say it on their post. There will be a lot of changes week to week as the season goes on.
Oh, there always is. Yeah.
Yeah, but no. At least right now, you have to think Evangel's going to drop down. Grace likely is going to go to that number 1 seed. It makes the most sense. Success Unlimited depends on if that game happened or not, or if they're going to move. Lancaster Christian. They may stay where they are. They might go down.
I think they go down.
You think they go down?
Just by virtue of they're only being. I don't know.
Christian Community.
They'll stay in the top 10.
Christian Community certainly has to go
Christian
down.
Community's got to
They
drop.
lost to Freedom. Franklin Christian, they're going to be 1-1 at that point.
They might move down to like 8.
Yeah, so Ezekiel Academy certainly has to go up.
Oh, they're going to go up.
Freedom's going up. Tennessee Heat is probably going to go
Probably
down.
drop out of the top 10.
Maybe Lighthouse Homeschool keeps that 10 spot, or maybe goes a little bit down.
I could almost see them swapping
with
Lighthouse with Lighthouse with
Providence.
CCS.
Possibly, yeah. But Providence certainly has to go up.
If Success Unlimited didn't play that game Friday or didn't win, I could see them dropping out.
South Haven Christian probably has to go up if they're going by wins, maybe 1 or 2 spots or something like that. Because right now,
like I said, this record is wrong as of last week. They were 2-0 last week, so now they're 3-0.
Yeah.
They're going to move up.
I imagine
100%.
Yeah, probably Lighthouse Christian, Ezell Harding by virtue they're going to go down. Not sure about the rest, but A lot of interesting stuff to look at with the teams they have
is,
in the
for
national
sure.
rankings, but I'm sure they'll get an update for the national rankings either on Monday or sometime this week. But it's
Did we talk about how diverse this list is?
oh yeah, you see
Alabama,
teams-
Tennessee,
Missouri.
Mississippi, South Carolina,
Mm.
Georgia, Missouri,
Mhm.
Kansas, Florida,
Louisiana.
Louisiana. Yeah, pretty extensive.
Yeah.
Even if there's only one or two teams from that state.
They're still on there. Absolutely.
KC East. That's a cool name.
Excuse me. You're right. It is a cool name there, but yeah, for the NHSA rankings, good stuff to look at for their first 2021 rankings, and gives bulletin board material for the teams just like we do every week for Extreme Talk. All right, week 3 is in the books, and we've just gone over the national rankings. So now
3 weeks.
time for it goes by
3
fast.
doubleheaders.
And this
6
is the
games.
last show of August. We're going to be in September by Wednesday. So pretty impressive stuff.
I know. I got to pay rent that night.
That's what, yours is the first of every month?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
It's the first of the
That's how rent works, Spencer.
I do.
We know who doesn't have to pay
We
rent.
know.
I haven't dealt with it yet. I will eventually, but at least
Hopefully, it's one of my last rent payments.
let's hope so. Yeah, if you can get a it'll be either
It's close. We
la-
had the counter offer. We sent the counter offer in this morning.
last rent payment, first mortgage payment.
I'm
So-
cool with a mortgage payment.
Yeah, that's cool. I can work with
I
that.
can work with that 100%. I can give the missus a kit. She was saying this morning. Monica was like, "Man, I just had this kitchen. I just had my kitchen looking how I wanted it." I said, "It's not your kitchen. We're renting it. I'm trying to give you your kitchen that you can change." So there you go.
Valid point. Week 3 in the books. Time to follow along on your helmet schedules from top to bottom for week 4 of the 2021 8-man football season. We start with the Evangel Christian School Lightning as they host Southern Christian High School. And I have a feeling I know where James is immediately going with this, but James, let's go ahead. Let's hear it. Who
Listen,
you got?
if Lighthouse didn't struggle with Southern Christian, Evangel's not going to struggle with Southern Christian. I've got Evangel getting the win.
Evangel all the way.
All right. All right. Easy decision on that. The Ezekiel Academy Knights, they host the Freedom Cowboys. 2 3-0 teams in Alabama. 2 homeschool organizations in Alabama collide, and what a game that is going to be. And the good news is there's at least a live stream of it. BB1 Sportsnet will be covering it, so you'll be able to do split screen with our Extreme Game of the Week to watch both of those contests. But
They're doing an all right job.
yeah, at the end of the day, somebody has to win in that contest. And James, you do preseason predictions. I remember which one you picked out of this.
Do you?
Not really, but I have a sense of who you're going to pick. But James, it's actually I do because I remember you said one of these teams was going to go practically unbeaten. So let's hear it, James. Unless you want to change it last second, which I don't think you will.
Stay in
Sorry.
the camera, son. Jesus.
You
I
gotta love
hate
the camera.
video. Where did this camera just? Oh, hi! You don't have a shot. Ah.
Oh, I can always take
Lucky
over
you.
He
Lucky
can take over.
I can't play the song because we get copyrighted. But dun dun dun, we them boys. Taking the Cowboys.
Yeah, I figured so. It's gonna be a good matchup. It could come down to the wire for all we know. But Brendan,
Or it could be an ugly blowout.
that is true. It's happened. It's happened before. We've seen it go out that way. But who you got, Brendan?
I'm going Ezekiel Academy.
Ooh,
All right.
split decision on that one. All right, and
Start calling you the baker with all this humble pie you'll have.
Hey, it's a good tradition. The coach is yelling at you afterwards, saying about tasting that humble pie.
Hey,
So I mean,
Grace has now adopted me as their own son.
I think that's official now. Speaking of Grace, they travel to Murfreesboro, the last of their 3-game road stretch where they head just up I-24 up to Murfreesboro to collide with the Providence Christian Academy Lions. Coach Ferguson has had 2 shutouts thus far with his players, and Grace Baptist 3-0 on the year. And this game very much looks like it's going to be for the number 1 seed in the TSIAA South with the way things are going down. I mean, you don't know with Lancaster, and Franklin Christian is a wild card in that as well. So there's a lot of moving parts within those top 4 eligible teams in the TSIAA playoffs. So James, between Grace Baptist and Providence, the Golden Eagles and the Lions, let's hear it. Who you got?
You know, when Providence plays an offense, and I said it earlier, this is just my observation. I might be wrong. When Providence plays an offense that has historically struggled during the season, they do well. When they play an offense that hasn't struggled, or when they play Deuce Bragg, either way, they don't get it done. And I don't think that they struggle with Grace Baptist. I think Providence comes away with the win. I think they finally figure out how to make it work against an offense like Grace that put up 40-something on Evangel, and I think Providence gets it done Friday night.
All right, you got Providence. What you got, Brendan?
I got GracePointe. But I'm only going with them because the adjustments they made against Evangel.
They did do a good job making adjustments.
If they can make adjustments against a team like Evangel, I'm sure they're going to make those adjustments in Providence.
All right, going back a day from the games we covered for Friday, the South Haven Christian School Patriots on Thursday night, they travel up to Knoxville to collide with the Tennessee School for the Deaf Vikings. The Vikings, their first football game back since 2019 with having to cancel all of their, I believe it was every one of their sports seasons for the 2020 to 2021 school year because of coronavirus. But now they're back. The football team is looking ready to go, and with a new coach at the helm and getting that rematch that from 2019 where Lorenzo Curry had that incredible one-handed grab up in the middle of the field in Springfield. That was incredible, but at the end of the day, it's been 2 years since then. The times have changed. Do the Patriots get the win on the road, or do the Vikings make a statement with their first win of the 2021 season?
You know what? I'm taking the Vikings for the upset. I'm taking Tennessee School for the Deaf for the upset.
Got any explanation behind it, or are you just taking
I think that, obviously South Haven doesn't know a whole lot about them going into it, and they've got to travel. And so I think all those things will factor into it. I think South Haven will be slow getting started in the game, and I think TSD will be able to take advantage of that.
Should be a good matchup either way. Brendan?
I'm going with South Haven. I think you got it all wrong. I think the traveling and
fair enough.
I don't think that's going to be a factor. I think they're ready to play. I think they'll take this game as well.
All right.
And the 3-0 Patriots looking to go 4-0 with that contest against the Vikings in your stomping grounds, your hometown in Knoxville, Tennessee. Back to Friday night, the Southern Prep Academy Fighting Rangers travel on the road to Westwood for that contest. James, who you got?
Actually, I think Southern Prep will struggle, and I'm taking Westwood.
All right, you got Westwood on that one. What do you have, Brendan?
I'll go Westwood as well.
All right, same decision on that. Back to Thursday, the Tennessee Heat travel to Columbia from Mount Juliet to collide with the Zion Christian Academy Eagles in a matchup that should be interesting. Both the teams struggling throughout the year, trying to get a good system going and rhythm, and there's not anything really going their way at this point. At least for the Tennessee Heat, they have that one victory. Zion Christian looking for that first win in 8-man football. So James, who you got on this one?
I'm actually going to take I get to pick this one week to week because this was a last-second game.
Oh, yeah, Zion, Tennessee Heat. Yep, you get to pick this live. Go ahead.
I'm actually going to pick Zion in this one. I think Zion will have I think they'll get it all put together, and I think Jaron Kaiser and Max Brown and those guys and Coach Jordan will be able to get up and roll against the Heat, especially if Carter Sutton's not cleared. If he's cleared, makes it a little bit different, although they might not use him as much. I will take Zion on this one.
All right, Brendan, since this one's picked up, what you got?
I'm going Zion as well. Tennessee Heat lost a lot of players on yesterday, so I think the injury bug is going to hurt them a lot coming into this game as well.
Yeah, especially with only a 5-day turnaround from Saturday to Thursday. That'll be tough on them as well. So, but All right, the week 4, we got a double header header now going into September, and the Kingdom.com Extreme Game of the Week is the bass drum there.
Hang on. Do it again.
But we will be up in White House. The Christian Community School Colts will host their first in-division matchup of the 2021 season against the Franklin Classical School Knights. Isaiah Austin and company. That is on Friday, and then Thursday we cover the Battle of the Bell that was rescheduled to take place in Antioch.
We shook that camera real bad.
Yeah. Oh well. But Ezell Harding, they travel to Antioch to collide with the Lighthouse Christian School Lions. Battle of the Bell. Well, the Bell will be on site as it usually is for that. So we'll start out with that Thursday contest. Battle of the Bell it got moved and such. James, you sticking with your original prediction on that contest?
Well, first off, you didn't let me pick CCS.
We'll do
CCS
Thursday
Classical.
then Friday. I know I went a little bit reverse. I forgot about the Thursday game, but we'll do Battle of the Bell first.
I'm actually taking. Let's see. I'm gonna take Lighthouse on this one.
Was that your original prediction
Yeah.
from preseason?
Yeah.
Okay, sticking with it.
I'm sticking with it.
All right, you stick with that. Brendan, you going with Ezell Harding, or you changing to Lighthouse?
Going with Ezell Harding.
All right.
It'll be a good contest on Thursday night, regardless. And then for Friday night, Coach Flanders and company, they have their home game after that tough loss to the Freedom Cowboys. They're 1-1, looking to punch their ticket back to the postseason. And Franklin Classical right now 0-1 in division. They're looking to keep their hopes alive to get to the Division I playoffs. So, James, what you got for this one? He looked at me like a deer in the headlights.
It's pretty awesome. It's got stevia in it.
Yeah,
That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. Yeah. It's got strawberry puree, banana puree, monk fruit,
filtered low fat grade milk.
Hold up, monk fruit juice. What is monk fruit juice?
Monk fruit juice?
What is a monk fruit?
It's the juice.
Before we make this pick, I need to know what a monk fruit is.
It's the juice that comes from the fruit of a monk. It's very simple. Sometimes, no. Look,
Spencer.
Look,
no.
Look,
No.
Here, there's some people
I'm not looking.
who have gardens.
Stop.
There's some people who have gardens and grow fruits and vegetables and such. So it's
Okay,
fruit
Spence.
from a monastery. Very simple.
Spence. Okay.
You guys are laughing too much at that.
Here's a monk fruit.
Yeah. So
I've never even heard.
I don't
of a
even
monk
know.
fruit.
Is that picking up on camera? I don't think people are seeing it. But yeah.
Y'all can Google monk fruit.
Yeah.
We all have smartphones. Use them.
Exactly.
That is true.
And computers.
All right. So now
by
you
the
know.
way, I'm taking CCS in this one. I think the Colts get it done at home. They won't be wearing those sweet away uniforms they debuted against Freedom.
Oh, they
did y'all see those?
No, I hadn't seen.
No. Oh, hold on.
I hadn't seen the uniforms on that because usually it's lighter colors with those and anything.
It was they did wear lighter colors. They
Okay.
debuted new white uniforms. Hold up.
Okay.
Hold up.
Got some new uniforms and everything for that. Okay.
Went with the blue and yellow stripe on
Yep,
the shoulder.
Yep. Stripe on the shoulder
sharp.
pads. Pretty good. All right, you got the Colts.
Maybe they'll pull out the grays.
I think they usually do the Grace for their homecoming. Is it their homecoming?
Oh,
game
that's
then?
true. I don't know when their homecoming is, but no, I'm taking CCS on this one.
All right, you got CCS. All right, Brendan, which one
a
you
shot
got?
again?
I'm going. Who was the other? Franklin?
Yeah, it's either Franklin Classical.
Yeah. We're going with Franklin Classical. Hey. Look
You
here.
haven't slept since then, sir.
You're right. I don't sleep. But yeah, no. Franklin Classical most definitely will get their team back on track. No problem.
All right, and if that's the case, then they go 1-1 in division on that contest. All right, James, we're at the end. We're at the end of the show. We got through all the predictions. Your shout-outs for the last Sunday in September, or excuse me, the last Sunday before September.
Yeah, last Sunday before September. I want to give a shout-out to everyone out there that follows us and supports us because we hit a big milestone Friday night.
1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Let's
Oh.
1,000. No, don't shake the camera.
Wow.
It's pretty awesome. Yeah, we've been trying to get that for a while.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool. Now it's time for 2. No, I'm just kidding.
He
No.
said that on air
Shout
last
out.
night. I don't know if you
Shout out
caught
for y'all.
that.
No, I didn't because I was on the field.
Yeah, he said that. He said that on air. He's like, "Is it too
literally-
much to ask for 2,000?"
I mean, I gotta give credit to Audrey. She's the one that said it first.
Oh yeah,
All right.
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
I also want to give a shout out to players who try. Let me explain this.
Uh-oh.
Can I get the camera?
No, give it to him. Give it to him.
Okay.
Give him the camera.
Preach, brother.
There are players that have all the potential in the world, and they can be incredible players, but they don't want to try. They don't want to pay attention to their playbook. They don't want to learn their playbook, and they want to go out there and think that skill is just going to get them through. You cannot do that. Learn your dadgum playbook.
Ooh.
Know where you're supposed to be.
Yes, sir.
Know your role and do it.
This Sunday.
And shout out to all you players who do that, who learn your playbook and you know where you're supposed to be.
Wow.
There's the James rant.
It is Sunday.
I mean, am I wrong?
No, you are
confess,
completely
yes.
right. You on
Jeez.
point. Oh, my.
I was a second string bench warmer and I knew the plays.
Why didn't you get PT then?
Because I was a only year senior that came in and 3 guys were in front of me that had been played together for 2 or 3 years.
Bye, humbug.
Listen, when there's 5 guys on the offensive line, it's easier to get a spot than 3 that. Because if those 3 have been together for a long time, it's hard to crack
is very
that.
fast, yeah.
And then I hadn't played before that senior year, so.
Yeah, it happens. Brandon, you got any shout-outs?
No shout outs. Just thanks for the 1K, guys. Let's get to 2,000.
It's gonna be a long journey for that, but I'm sure we'll get to it eventually. Right now we're at 1,012, so make that 988 until we get to that
Anything's
point.
possible.
And also thanks to all you guys doing the watch time hours. Hold
up.
Last 28 days, we've had about 1,400 hours total watched, about 6,300 views. It's
Boys,
pretty good.
the wait is over. There's no more speculation. Hold on. Wait for
That
it.
sounds like waiting for me.
Hold- Is it?
Waiting.
Oh, it's raining?
Yeah, there's pouring
What?
raining right now. Yeah.
That's
It's okay. We have football to watch.
That's true. We also need to go through our gear.
There's a lot of stuff we have to do, but you said there was no waiting, and we're still waiting.
Hold on. I've got it. Okay.
That's cool. I cannot work with this.
Do y'all want to know what I've got?
What you got?
Yes, we've been
The
waiting.
brand new, up-to-date NHSA rankings.
All right. We can.
They are live on Facebook.
All right. Perfect. We'll just go through those before the end of the show. Then let me go ahead and go.
Guess who's number 1?
I got this. Grace Baptist.
Grace Baptist.
Mhm.
Number 2 is Evangel.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You got Lancaster as number 3. That's been updated there. Franklin Christian is at the 4th rank at 1-1.
Maybe because of only losing to Evangel.
That'll be a good question. It's
By
Ezekiel
12.
Academy. It has them at 1-0. It doesn't have them at.
Yeah, Ezekiel's
3-0.
2-0.
They're 2-0 right now, so it should 1-0. The Freedom Cowboys correctly updated 3-0. I guess Success Academy didn't have their game because they're at 1-0, but they're at 7. Christian Community is at 8 at 1-1. Lighthouse Homeschool is at 9. Providence Christian made it to the top 10 ranks, and South Haven Christian says 2-0, even though they're at 3. Yeah, they're at 12, and I think they're also South Haven's 3-0 and says on their schedule 2-0.
So that game, I get either that game didn't play it or there was no score for Success
Probably
Unlimited.
that's probably the
I would have
case.
dropped them out of the top 10, to be honest.
Well, we don't know.
And I would have put South Haven up in that top 10.
Okay.
At least in Success's spot. If you're going to leave Franklin Christian there.
Yeah. But at least those
That's
ranks,
interesting.
yeah, those rankings are updated there. Yeah, Tennessee Heat is at 13. Says they're at 1-1.
I'd have put Evangel Montgomery ahead of them.
Yeah, Tennessee.
Honestly.
Yeah, Tennessee Heat is 1-2 actually. It says 1-1 on there. But yeah, that at least updates everything. Southern Prep at 16. You got the other Tennessee teams. Sacred Heart is at 28. Ezell Harding at 29. Lighthouse Christian at 30. Franklin Classical at 31. A string of 4 a string of 4 Tennessee teams that dropped a lot from the last weekend and such from the rankings.
There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams on these rankings that still have not played or have not turned in games.
That's probably why they're at least 4 of them. That's why they're down in 41.
Isn't
through 45.
Classic? Oh no, Classical's still 0-2.
Oh yeah, that's why the 5 that haven't reported rankings. That's why they're down at 41, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Because at least of the 5 teams that
Lighthouse
haven't played a game.
Christian and Lighthouse Christian's also misspelled.
It happens. But
It happens.
All right.
I'm not saying it doesn't happen. Okay, Grace cracking number 1. All right.
Yep. They've got the early ranking again. Coach Ateka, and all of Grace Baptist. Let's hope you guys have the funds to be able to go down to Florida. You'll love the experience, assuming you continue to go strong through the season. We want to see you in Florida.
Any Chattanooga people, just help them out, man.
Just
come on,
just get a GoFundMe.
So based on these, wow, it is poor. Are we sure there's not like storms rolling in?
I'll look. Might
huh?
be. Let's see. Significant weather statement for Williams.
Okay, so that means
saying.
on Thursday night we have number 29 versus number 30.
Mm-hmm.
And then on Friday night we have, where has he got? Classical 31. So then we have number 31. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 31 versus number 8.
Special weather statement: strong thunderstorms, about
So it's thunderstorms, okay.
50 miles per hour, and a flash flood watch.
Okay.
So
All right,
not too severe, but okay. Looks like
There we go.
The shout out portions are done. National rankings are up. All
You
that
got
good
shout.
stuff.
Spencer, do you have shout outs?
Not today.
You ungrateful.
There's
Shout out to Audrey for the cupcakes.
Okay,
And
yeah. for the
happy
bundt
birthday
cakes.
to Audrey.
Yeah, hey, Audrey. Yeah, Audrey's birthday is on Tuesday. Yeah, early birthday to her. Sure,
How old?
She'll be celebrating.
20.
She's still a baby.
Yeah, goodness.
20 used to seem so old, and now I'm staring at 27 with 2 kids.
Hey, man. Hey, man. It happened.
You're what,
happened.
20?
I'm looking at, huh?
You're looking at Big 30, right?
I'm looking at Big 30.
Yeah.
Man,
September 10th. Oh.
Yeah, he's gonna be 30. It's September 10th. Happy early birthday to you. It's about
He doesn't get an early happy birthday yet.
12
get that
days
next week.
Yeah.
Next week.
Yeah, it's 12 days.
Next week.
12 days.
Next week.
Am I wrong though?
Am I wrong?
No.
Am I wrong?
Neither of us are wrong in this case, but 12 days.
You don't have to fight over me.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, we got to spend it in the next
Someone
12
has to.
days. We have two crew members.
No comment.
What would you comment?
That's a great question.
Hashtag boo-hoo.
I'm sorry.
Next 12 days, we have 2 of our crew members celebrating their birthdays, which is pretty special. And then yours in October. Mine doesn't happen during the season. Mine's in the spring.
Thank the Lord, you should take another week off.
Yeah, well, you know how it is. But all right. Well, that is going to do it for Extreme Talk, presented by GracePointe Healthcare at GracePointeHealthcare.com. Fueled by Fairlife Core Power Protein, financially supported in part by First Horizon and sponsored by Crumble Cookie, as well as Iceberg Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. For James Shannon, for Brendan Daniel, for Audrey Green, for Matthew Cruz, for Jerry Jr., for Monica Shannon, Spencer Thompson saying thank you for tuning in this Sunday. We'll see you on Thursday night for the Battle of the Bell, and then Friday night for Christian Community and Franklin Classic.
See ya!